Hi, my name's David Dowdy. I own Action Coach Lake Norman, your local business training and coaching organization, and I am thrilled to have Terry Adams on the Business Spotlight series with us today. Terry owns Adams Hospitality, and gosh, Terry, great to have you on the call, and
Thank
looking
you.
forward to learning from you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and Adams Hospitality.
Well, let's see. Hi, everyone. My name is Terry Adams. I do own Adams Hospitality. I chose that name um, 14 years ago. I've been working the business now for the last 14 years. I do service all of the USA with hotel, motel contract products. So anytime you walk into a hotel, I may or may not have done their furniture or custom draperies or pictures or whatever. But that's basically what I do.
All the amenities, everything that goes
All the
into this.
amenities, your towels, things like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who knew? Who knew? And you're located here in Mooresville, North Carolina.
I am. It's a beautiful
Uh,
place.
Very local. Okay, great. So after all these years, if you had it to do all over again, like if you were starting back at square one, what do you think you might do differently starting over again?
I think I probably would have to learn more, be more, it's not that be more diligent, but uh, get out there more than I can. As a one-man show, you can't be everywhere every time. So I would like to be able to interact more than I have been able to interact
Hmm.
and still do the same thing. I absolutely love it. I love the joy that it puts on a GM's face, a manager's face, or whatever. And just knowing that when they walk into their suites, they know that their guests are going to be happy, and that's what makes me happy. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it's true.
It's a sign you love what you do and you take
Yeah, I
pride
do.
in
I
what you do.
absolutely do.
Yeah. So as you're shipping, I assume you ship across the
Everything that I
country anywhere.
Yes, I ship everything in the US, and all of my manufacturers, it is a drop ship program, just like if you were ordering from Amazon. But these particular manufacturers don't let the public purchase. So they need a person like myself.
Gotcha.
And everything is drop shipped to a hotel and curbside pickup. So it's either an FF&E, which means if they need an install and et cetera, that's a separate entity. But most of the time, the hotels have the crews on staff that can pull in the products that are being delivered.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And then it's their animal
It
from
is there.
them.
Yes. I
Okay.
step them through the whole process and then make sure that there's no damages, things like that.
Yeah. So it sounds like an interesting business.
It's
Even the
fun.
aspect of being the business owner yourself. What are
Yeah.
some of the bigger learnings that you've had over the years? Um,
Well,
Stand
oh,
out.
that might be tough. That might be tough. You might not want to put all your, is this a good phrase? Put all your eggs in one basket. And let me give you a scenario. I was working on a property that I've worked with for many years, 8 years actually.
Mhm.
And I did everything. I did it all laid out. I designed it the whole 9 yards. And she just absolutely pulled it and said, I'm going to go with my brother-in-law who works for Marriott. And I just was devastated. So you don't always put your, so I'm a very trustworthy person. I'm very transparent. So for
Mhm.
me, you just need to be honest. And those are the learning curves that I have, that I have to keep learning about because not everybody is trustworthy. I mean, I'll even have reps that rep for a manufacturer that will say that the order didn't go through, but that person had already canceled that order and put it under themselves.
Oh, wow.
Just yes. And that was probably my biggest $140,000 order that I lost because the rep did that to me. And so I learned that very early on to be very careful
Wow.
with who you trust. And but I follow my faith. I'm always going to be who I am. So if
Mhm.
you want to be like that, go ahead because old school is what goes around comes around.
Comes around. That's right. That's right.
I'm sorry, I'm blunt. That's what I would say.
Well, that's great. So, you know, there. if we consider the profession of small business under ownership, there's a lot of misconceptions out there
Yes.
about what it's like to be an owner, maybe the money you make, the freedom that you have, and all that.
Mm.
What are some of the misconceptions maybe that you had, and how you've dealt with that or overcome some of that?
I guess the misconceptions are people do believe because you're a business owner that you make all this money. The truth is, over the years, you don't make that much money because of the excess that you have to put out. You get charged double, triple, quadruple just to have health insurance. You have to pay the higher taxes. Yes, you may have some freedom because I can work remotely, but there's a lot of obstacles. There's just a lot of obstacles. For me, in my home, I can't put a sign out there saying Adams Hospitality because it's not
Right.
allowed with the HOA. So every step of the way that you go, there's always something you have to climb over. So being a business owner is not always, great. There's so many things that you have to deal with, and you just kind of separate everything and say, is it still worth it? So for me, because I love what I do, I always find the way out of those types of things, if that makes any sense. If I can't have that particular, let's say, insurance because I don't make enough money, so you move on to something else that's affordable. So for on the business aspect, that is really basically what you have to do because you don't make that much money. You have freedom, probably is the good thing
Right.
about being it. I don't have to listen to anybody but myself. When I make a mistake, I criticize myself because I knew I was wrong or I could do it better. It's
Yeah.
it's having that other person tell you, that you were wrong. And some people can take it and some people can't.
Mhm.
I'm kind of neutral. When I know I made a mistake, I made a mistake. But I think being a business owner for me personally is the freedom that I can go to the Bahamas for a week and still have my deliveries shipped or still take an order. So for me, that is the best that I can say.
Yep. That's really nice to have the freedom to, in your case, to work from anywhere in the world if you
I
want
can.
to, but
Yep.
some things be happening even when you're not there. So you've been in it for a number of years now.
14.
Would you say 14 years?
Yes.
So what do you attribute your own growth to, the growth of your business?
I, for me, I'm old school, so I'm going to say it's just honesty. I have always been transparent, and transparency is so, so important. So when I meet a client, whether it be on Zoom or living here, I haven't been able to have that opportunity, but I go and visit the client. I show them all of the product. This is the fabric that you're purchasing. This is the artwork that you're purchasing. Being transparent, never changing up. You'll find people out there that will show you one thing and you're getting another. That doesn't happen in my company. I've never done that. I don't believe in that. And I think that's all about being trustworthy.
Mm. And that I assume leads to good referrals, to repeat
Yes, so
business.
it's word
People
of mouth.
appreciate
I
that.
have been so fortunate. God has really blessed me to have the word of mouth.
Yeah.
Back in the day, people, that's how they ran the business. That's basically how we ran our country. You know what I'm saying? Because word of mouth is so important. And I still think today I do a lot of networking.
Mhm.
I'm actually hosting Ben 110 on Friday
Oh,
with the
nice.
Lake Norman Small Business Network. So I am hosting that, or sponsoring that, I should say. They're hosting it. It's getting the people together to know who you are, not just who you know. And it's bringing people together as a community. And if you don't have that, you really can't grow.
Right.
So over these last 6 months, just doing that has been a huge impact of people that, oh my God, do I know you? Yes, we met at that. So that's really important because you need to be a part of the community, no matter where you are or what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. And it's such a different world now, post COVID, yes.
Mhm.
But just with technology, what it is,
It is.
you're able to work from a home office.
Mhm.
And like so many other people are actually able to do that now with technology,
Yes.
what it is. But there's still that balance between work and life, if you
Mhm.
will. I mean, how do you handle that, the personal demands of life,
Uh,
um,
okay, so I work
along with
7 days
work?
a week. I have always worked the 7 days
Okay.
a week. There are customers that could be in California. Obviously, there's a 3 hour difference. You need to make yourself accessible to them at any time. Yes, you're
Mhm.
entitled to take, Christmas off or Thanksgiving or something like that. I limit my time off. And I think it's so important for you to be available, making more of a personal um, uh, thing between each client because everybody needs something different. I'll have clients that need their hands held. I can go over the same product 15,000 times, but until
Mhm.
her hand is held and she truly believes, that's how the sale becomes of fruition. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
can be nonchalant with someone and just say whatever it is you want to say just to get the sale. That's not who I am. I built the company on trust and truth and transparency. That is what how I've been able to survive because I've done it that way.
And-
It works for me, it may not work for everyone.
Yeah. I was going to ask about, I'm not sure if you have employees, but when it comes to looking
I
at
do not.
employee or contractors or vendors or even your customers and clients,
Okay.
there's there's a bit of a character that you
There
probably
is.
look for.
I do. And I
Maybe you
do
already
have
spoke to
those.
that with the transparency and the honesty.
I do have that.
Yeah.
I do have installers for when I do my custom drapery.
Hmm.
So I'm very, very transparent with them as they're very transparent with me. And you can always feel it. I'm older, so I feel like your first instinct is your gut instinct. You know which way to go and which way not. It's the same thing with the customer. If you want to go into a property and you want to do have their business. But if you don't have that in your gut that you know that's not the right property, then it's already told you to walk away. And life I know is short, but sometimes you just walk away.
Yeah,
And I've done that.
you save
I
yourself a
have done
lot
that.
of money and time and
Yes.
hassle
Yes,
sometimes.
because I put a
Yeah.
lot of effort into everything that I do. So, I also don't charge. I'm free of charge when it comes to coming to the property, going over everything they need. There's a lot of people out there that charge for that. To me, that's just not right. I feel
No.
that you just need to be part of your community and you need to be helpful, no matter who it is.
Right.
So if I sound
Yes.
old fashioned, oh well.
Maybe you are, and that's good.
I probably am.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, having your experience and track record, what words of wisdom might you share with the next generation or those that are emerging business owners, entrepreneurs that are getting going? Maybe it's just a word of encouragement for those that are already in the midst of the fire.
Maybe. Again, I'm going to go back to what I said. I think it's vital that you be so truthful. It's vital that you make a connection to the person, like you and I are talking.
Hmm.
I guess if we didn't connect, we wouldn't be talking. It's the same thing when you're with someone. You need to feel what they want. You need to be honest with them, and just don't give up because it's not that easy. It's just not easy. You just take it slow and you just be honest about yourself and what they want. Listen. That's another key thing. It's listening between the lines of what that person wants. He may want or she may want a $10,000 suite redone, but he only has $1,000. You're going to know that if you learn how they're talking to you. You know already they don't have those funds, so now you know not to put in 50 hours when you know it's not going to be a $10,000 job. Now you have to work the other end and say, we're going to start at the low end and I'm going to give you this. It's going to look like that, but it's not going to cost you this. So those are the things you have to balance. The world still runs by money. Money talks. I won't say the
Mm.
other part of the, but yes. And that's
Yeah.
how you run a business. You can't be in business if you don't make money. So always stay encouraged, always look forward and never give up. It's not easy, but you just keep your faith.
Awesome. Terry, I appreciate your wisdom, the
Oh,
nuggets
you're
that you
so nice.
shared.
Thank
And
you.
again, so Terry, what's the best way somebody could reach out to you, get in
Okay.
touch? What's
So
your
my
contact?
cell phone is listed on my website, which has to
Okay.
be redone. I apologize. It's 609-280-2764. And then my email address is Adams, that's ADAMS, hospitality@gmail.com. And then my
Okay.
website is adamshospitality.com. No W's.
Okay.
Uh,
Very good.
uh,
Okay.
Basically, I'm available 7 days a week. So even if you want it, and another thing too, I didn't mention is I offer free quotes. So if a client calls and wants a product, I do offer free quotes. I don't charge for that either. There's a lot of
Okay.
people out there that do that, but that's not fair. That's just not fair to the end user. You
Okay.
know, you just have to be human.
Mm.
How you want to be treated is how you need to treat someone else. There I go again with the old school.
There
Sorry
you
about
go. There you go.
that.
Well, Terry, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Congratulations on the business that you've
Thank you.
built, and thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
today. So again, Terry Adams with Adams Hospitality. Appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone.